Always in my own head about lessons, passive aggressive. Overreact to little things I never invested. A little basis with approach, either stay or it go. Fail to lean off the experience, proceeding to grow. Really think before I spoke, the emotions exposed. Raw nerves so sensitive, I cry when the wind blows. All the innuendos, over instrumentals. Stay revealing what I'm feeling over any tempo. Can it be that?
What's up, y'all? This is the Plain Black Rapper Podcast, and I'm your host, Nytelife. We just gotta set the mood a little bit, man. We gotta set the mood a little bit. I was telling y'all about this last pod. It's crazy. I ain't gonna play all of it. Just moving. The handle's going crazy. It's moving. I'm trying to get to where he starts saying the words and stuff. It's crazy. Uh-oh. Here it comes. Go on, sing, bro.
Je te laisserai des mots en dessous de ta porte.
How does that not move?
En dessous de la mur qui chante tout près de la place où tes pieds passent, caché dans les trous dans ton hiver. Et quand tu es abandonné.
All right, enough. So once again, welcome to the Plain Black Rapper Podcast. I'm your host, Nytelife. We're doing this on video this time. We are going to be live. I'm going to show you my face while I'm talking. So today, I wanted to talk about employment, jobs, you know what I'm saying? The voice of the voiceless, meaning, when is it okay to speak up and all of that type of stuff? Because I think that's important. Kind of run into some real life situations like that. I'm not going to be divulging things or slandering, but I will say that, there's things that apply that, that I have, friends and family going through, and I want to make sure that, we relate. If you get an opportunity, please make sure that you, you share this podcast, make sure that you are downloading, make sure that you are subscribing so you can get the notifications of when this pop up on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You know what I'm saying? I try to do batch recordings so that way I can, get them out the way during the week. So they roll out to you and we continue to be on time. I was off, had to move one to Saturday because I got busy doing some stuff. So, welcome to everybody. So like I said, today we're going to talk about, jobs versus employment. We're going to talk about when it's okay to speak up with your employer. And, what's the reasonable expectations of work? For me, getting into that whole thing of a job, what the definition of a job and, what's the difference between that and employment or the job and a job and career, job and career. That's what I meant. Job and career. The difference between job and career, job is 9 to 5 punch, you know what I'm saying? Do what you need to do, take care of your family, take care of things that need to be taken care of. And you need to check because it's beneficial to you being able to function in life. That's a job. It's not a necessary want. It's not a necessary passion of yours, but you go because for one, you know what you're doing. You get it. You guaranteed to get a check every 2 weeks. And, you can kind of fit that into your lifestyle to make sure that things are taken care of. And, you can depend on that. You depend on your benefits. You depend on your, you depends on the money that comes through, you depend on those things. So when you look at that and then you look at, career, a career I think is different. I think you go into a career saying, can I do this for the rest of my life? You look at it. There's short-term and long-term career. Long-term career is, can I do this for the rest of my life? The short-term career is, you know, can I do this for the time being? Can I just go ahead and stick this out? It's almost like a jail sentence. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just do my 5 and I'm gonna get up out of here. Right. Um, Pointing towards a career I think is more enriching because you have to find what it is that you love to do and be immersed in that. So that way it makes it easy to come to work. It makes it easy to love what you do. It makes it easy to have appreciation when you walk through the doors every day, because you feel like you are not only making a change, but you're doing something that's towards the benefit of you because it's something that you are interested in. I look at my friends, and I have friends that are doing things in music. They basically, their career is, um, I have people coming over to my studio recording, and I mix and I master, or I'm a songwriter, or I'm a performer. I sell my art, and this is my career. I tour, and those things are great. And I think I would love to be in that position. And they're professional podcasters now, and they make a living doing this. And I think that ultimately that's the goal, is what I would like to do. But I can't shed my 9 to 5 right now because it's things that are locked up that I need to take care of. I need to take care of cool shit like mortgage and, bills and stuff like that. And, we gotta, like my mom said, you gotta do what you can do until you can do what you want to do. And so I'm doing what I can do right now. And that's why I'm doing so many things. It's just, eventually I feel like, one thing will be able to get me to where I want to be, which is my ultimate goal, is, doing something that's going to be full of love and enrichment full time. And I'm not going to have to rely on the 2-week paycheck, or rely on the, benefits package, or rely on that. I will be able to be, um, I can provide that for myself. So ultimately, you want to get there. And I think, we all have goals of getting there. I mean, that's part of our dreams. Our dreams is, there's people, I think I talked about it the last pod. It's like there are people that go in. I watch like Chopped, and there's always a person that's on there that goes, yeah, I was going to become, I was going to school, I was studying to be a lawyer, but my passion was cooking, and my parents did not understand. And so I just dropped out of school and I went for this, and now I'm here on Chopped. And it's like, you be thinking like, damn, you walked away from education, for a business education or a law education is so expensive, and you walking away from being a doctor to come through and make and go through a shop basket. Like, it's crazy. But then again, I felt him, because it was like, man, I wish that the opportunity presented itself for me, that to know that I could get something to jumpstart what I'm trying to do. I mean, they up there fighting for 10 grand to be able to start their food truck and be able to get their life off the ground and career off the ground, because they want to do what's passionate for them. So it's like, we fight in those spaces constantly every day. It's like, that struggle is, get up in the morning and I got to do what I got to do to punch this clock and do everything. But at the same time, my passions are this podcasting. My passions are my music. That's my passions. And I want my passions to be my job. I just got to bust my ass and get there. But I think ultimately we have to strive for that and try to work to get out of that, no pun intended with that, but you have to work to get out of work. Um, you still are always looking at the safety net and being comfortable. Remember the comfortable conversation? Being comfortable. Like, okay, I know I got this. So I'm just going to stay here and I'm going to ride this out, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get my retirement, and I'm going to be cool. But are you happy? Are you really happy where you at? Do you really get enrichment, fulfillment, and enjoyment where you're at? You got to really ask yourself those questions. And the great thing about being human is that you can pivot at any time. Granted, and the the honor, respect, and encouragement of your family to be able to do so, and they know that you want to pivot and take that leap, and they'll support you in that situation. But going back to what my mom said, got to do what you can do until you can do what you want to do. You don't want to walk off the job and you still got bills and stuff to pay. Get yourself situated and get a little nest egg and stuff. So that way, if you want to do that, you can go ahead and walk. But I'm not suggesting that anybody walk away from their job. So don't think I'm telling you to quit, because I'm not telling you to quit, because I'm not quitting. I'm not doing that. I'm not stupid. So I definitely am not going to be doing all of that. But anyhow, continuing on with the conversation. I want to talk about the voice of the voiceless. And that's the opportunity for you to be at work and speak up when it's time to speak up. Now, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. When they tell you that it is an open forum for you to speak up and they encourage you speaking and feedback and all of that, they don't really want that. They don't really want that. They want your praise and they want to make you feel like there's buy-in at certain situations, but they don't want you to give them the real dope. They don't want that. Because if you tell them exactly what the problems are and they realize that they are part of the problems, they're not going to want to automatically expose themselves in that situation and want to change it. My suggestion is, in situations, is like, you ask things in open forums and they say, hey, be my guest, speak as if, you really need to get this off. We want to make sure that you're heard. It's an open forum in theory. What the translation of that is, sit on your hands. When we say something, stand up and clap and sit your ass back down again. If you want to be able to mark your cares and concerns, do it offline and in private. They're not going to tell you that during the open forum. If they're trying to pump you up and get you to be the company person and want you to do all of these things that they are trying to get you to, get these, they're trying to instill these programs, or they're trying to get you to do certain things, and they want to encourage you to do certain things, of course they're going to try to counterbalance that with, hey, we want to hear your feedback. But they don't really want to hear your feedback. When people give you that, hey, just fill out this box and give us feedback and we'll get back to you. They don't take that feedback. Everybody wants the comments, and they want the admiration and the praise and the love. They want to be told that they are doing great, that you're making them feel good, or they're making you feel good. Excuse me. They want to feel like they're making you feel good and they're making a difference, and all of that stuff. That pumps their ego up, and it's like, yeah, we doing right. We doing something right as a company. But the one that raises their hand and goes, hey, I was thinking we might want to tweak this because this isn't working for everyone. And that may be the case, but they don't necessarily want to hear that in that space, in that form. When they're trying to get the rally on and trying to pump everybody up to do all of these impossible things that they're going to want you to do, they're not going to want to hear that something that's going to be looked at as negative or looked at as something that they don't want, they're going to have to address when they're trying to build momentum to get you to do something. So it's not going to happen. My thing is, when you wage these concerns to be able to protect your own mental in that situation, and I know people want to, power to people, fight, all that stuff. But ultimately, man, these people that's printing your checks and signing your checks, they don't give a fuck about that. They're not going to do what's in your best interest. They're doing what's in the best interest of the company, because that's who they getting checks from. They'll throw you a bone here and there. They're going to throw you a bone here and there, but ultimately, whatever is going to be the cheapest, most reliable and efficient way to do business is what they're going to expect you to do. If there is a problem that is popping up and the solution is to plug you in a hole to fill the hole, that's going to be the expectation. That's the quick stopgap. Hey, what are we doing to fix this problem? Oh, we're sticking such and such here to do this function as a preventative measure. They don't gotta ask you, and they not gonna ask you. They just gonna put your ass there. That's just point blank. That's just the real. Because ultimately, they have people to answer to, and they are in a solutions business. When somebody asking you, "Hey, why isn't this happening?" What's the answer? And they have to provide an answer in that situation. And it's kind of bad. It's kind of bad. I feel bad for them in the situation. I feel bad for them because your direct constituents feel that pain. I mean, me in a situation being a manager, I feel that pain too. I get stuff that gets rolled down to me that I'm supposed to roll down to my constituents, and then I'm rolling it down to my constituents, and I'm trying to paint it in the best light as possible. And my thing is, to be able to get people to do things that you need them to do, you have to tell them the why. If you make the explanation of the why and you paint it in a fashion that makes sense, then they're going to tend to follow you a lot easier. They may not like it. It may not be the best for them. It may not be, but they at least understand, or at least he broke it down for me and told me the why. At least he told me why I'm doing this. And that's important. People want to know that before they be able to go off to, you know what I'm saying? It's almost like you sending somebody off to war. What are we fighting for? Don't just stick a gun in my hand and put me on the front line. Can I know what's going on? Can I know what I'm risking my life for? People want to know that. They want to know that. They want to know the reasons why they're doing things. And I think when you're in situations like that, then you provide the why and it makes it easier. But sometimes that's the main issue is that things just get rolled out. Hey, we did this. So we're here. Too bad. It is what it is. You know, how am I expected to be able to be a good soldier and follow in those situations when you're just doing things and putting things on my plate without buying an explanation? And they say it's a partnership and we're sitting down and we're going to figure this out together. And no, we're not. I'm going to give you instruction and you're going to do what I told you. And it's the black mama syndrome, because my mama did it too. Why am I doing this? Because I said so. I said do it. I don't have to give you a reason. Yeah. And that's what you get. That's what you get at employers. You're asked to institute things. But they still have to be able to craft it and make it. And the problem is they kind of let things jump out of the box and then they try to put them back in the box after all of the chaos. Which is why it's like, open forum, speak when you can, tell us what we need, tell us what things we need to fix or what you want to say or whatever. And then you say that and then you're behind the witch shit. How dare you embarrass this company in this live forum by saying those things out loud? It's the truth. You play corporate games, you're going to get corporate prizes. You have to understand the landscape. Sometimes beating the drum is not the best thing to do, because where are you getting? We just some spokes on the wheel, as CM Punk would say. I'm just a spoke on the wheel. That wheel's just going to keep on turning regardless of whether I'm there or not. And when that spoke fall off, another spoke will be inserted and it's going to keep on rolling. Don't ever, don't ever overestimate your value at any company. Because, bro, you can always walk in and be replaced. Sis, you can always walk in and be replaced. That's the greatest possible thing about entrepreneurship, is that no one can fire you. You create your own shit. No one can tell you anything or tell you where to go or tell you when to wake up or tell you when to go home or tell you when to punch in and out. You have that freedom. You have that opportunity to be able to do something, and no one can tell you anything. And I think career-wise, you take that opportunity, and if you build that and you take that leap of faith and you make something, it's going to be hard to grind it out and get it to where you need to get it, but ultimately the freedom is just absolutely priceless. You are responsible for the why. You are responsible for the reason. You are the responsibility for your failure or for your success when you're in those situations. When you're in a company situation, man, it's almost like being on the NBA team. You can go out and score 40 and still lose. You can go out and score 40 and have 10 assists and have 15 rebounds. While your percentage of being able to win goes up drastically, you can still lose that game. So if you out here being a superstar employee and you giving everything you got, but the company is still in the negative and still failing and all of that, they're still going to want more from you. The expectation gets greater. Oh, you're so great, but we need you to be even greater in this situation, which goes into my next point, is working for places. And I had this conversation with my wife a while ago, and she told me that she ran into a dude that she used to work with, and she said, hey, the job expects you to give 100% all the time. You got to go in here and you got to give 100% in order for you to be able to climb that ladder. And the guy said, you know what? When you're in situations and you're working, you cannot give 100% of yourself all the time, because that becomes the standard, that becomes the expectation. And then they're going to want 110, and then they're going to want 120, and then they're going to want 130. Although those percentages don't exist, they still expect you to do that. You're great. I need you to be greater. I need you to be greater, or I need you to be great all the time. So when you miss a jump shot and you have an off night, what's going on with you? Everything okay? Are we going to need to have a conversation about this? So sometimes you got to temper. Sometimes you do have to temper. Sometimes you do have to take your foot off the gas. Sometimes you have to protect your mental well-being in those situations, and slow down and do things and be able to plan properly and to take stuff off of your plate and maybe focus on individuals. When things get out of whack for me, around me, when I'm working, I immediately step back and I start putting focus into my constituents. Then it's the one-on-ones. Hey, how are you doing? How's everything going? How's the family doing? Hey, how's work treating you right now? Immediately, I want to be able to put myself in a situation so where I'm making somebody else feel good so I can feel good. Pouring more of myself into my constituents and their well-being, and having understanding in those situations, because that fills my cup back up. Circling back to another pod, that fills my cup back up. I'm re-energized after that. When you feel like you're getting pounded at your job, and you feel like things are not going right, and you feel inundated with the whole storm of things that need to be done, or changes, or you know what I'm saying, it's uncomfortable and it's stressful and all of that stuff, then lean into someone else. When you nurture somebody else, it changes your vantage point, and it gives you the opportunity to be able to fill somebody else's cup up and help to fill your own up. It's like when things are going out of whack, I immediately turn to my children and spending time with my children and asking my children about themselves and all of that type of stuff. And I pour myself into them when things are not going right for me, because that re-energizes me. Give to somebody else. When you don't have is the perfect time to be able to give to somebody else. It comes back to you. And that's the same thing that you have to think about in regards to these jobs. To be able to protect your own mental and all of that stuff, you got to take yourself out the rat race. You're doing 100,000 things and you're trying to appease all of these people and all of this stuff and meet these numbers and meet this quota and do all of this stuff. When you're in that space, sometimes you have to step out of that and go and give yourself to somebody else to be able to re-energize and recharge and refocus yourself. And there's nothing wrong with that. Maybe going down to 80, maybe going down to 70% and giving that 30 to somebody else. Going down to 60%, giving that 40 to other people. Of that 100 that you was just going to try to make sure that this company was performing at their optimal peak. You were being a primetime player. Take your foot off the gas and give to others. And then go back to do what you need to do. You'll be re-energized, you'll work hard again. But you can't sit up here and have these situations where you are going so hard for the company and doing everything that you need to do for the company, and then burning yourself out, and then you have nothing left for your associates, and then your associates start asking for time from you, and then you are so burnt out that you are negatively projecting on them. Your patience is short. You don't want to talk. You don't want to make yourself accessible. I'm off right now. I got to go. I don't have time. I'm not going to read these emails. I'm not going to read these messages. I'm not going to do any of that. I got to go. This place is too much. So configure it when things start getting to the boiling point. Go pour yourself into others. I guarantee you it will help change your outlook. It will help change your feeling, and it will give you a new, renewed sense of purpose at work. And ultimately use your powers of your mind and think of ways to be able to put yourself in a situation where you're not working for anybody anymore if you're tired of doing that shit. I'm always cranking there. Where I'm at is not where I'm going to end. I am determined to not end where I am now. I'm determined. And that's not to say it's a bad place to be, but ultimately there's a bigger purpose for me in all of this. Whether that be the Gauntlet, whether that be 4 Bar Loop, whether that be What the Podcast, whether that be the Plain Black Rapper Podcast, whether that be Nytelife music, whether that be Tent City Recordings, I don't care what mode it is. I'm going to find a way so where I don't have to be where I am. Call my own shots. I got too many homies that call their own shots right now. It's so lovely to see that. And I'm so jealous. They work so hard, but ultimately they reap the spoils of everything because they get to be able to, write their own checks and go here and move when they want to move and do all of this other stuff and make their own hours and all of that. Deal with the people they want to deal with. They have the right to refuse service to people when they don't want to service them. What? If a person being an asshole to them, they don't have to take it. I don't need your business. When I was doing t-shirts, that was the best part about it. Oh, okay. You gonna be an asshole? Hey, I don't need your money. Peace. I'll go elsewhere. I will find business elsewhere. I don't need you. In the corporate structure, customer's always right. Customer is always right. I'm going to just go ahead and take these point blank bullets to the head and have to keep taking this beating and keep eating shit because the customer is always right. You don't have that freedom being in a 9 to 5 that you do being an entrepreneur and being able to put a limit on the amount of stuff that you're going to have to take from someone. That's lovely. And I'm jealous of that most of all. All right, so I've taken your time enough. Please make sure that you subscribe. Please make sure that you share the show. Please make sure that you do that for me. You know what I'm saying? Numbers are going up. Thank you for my viewers. Thank you for people that's tuning in. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your love, your appreciation. Some people do it on the strength of it being me, and I love you for doing it on the strength of being me. But hopefully, I'm doing something to help you be able to change your life with. I'm not the end all be all. I'm just trying to be a purposeful word out here. So just continue to take that as you may. So, with that being said, make sure that you treat the janitor the same way you do the CEO. Take care of your friends and family. And most of all, take care of yourselves because no one's going to watch out for your mental like you are. Peace.